Welcome to the One Mic, One Voice show, Building the Collective Conscious, a show created to give space where your voice, ideas, and informed opinions can be heard, appreciated, and debated. I am Michael Eric Owens, back in the One Mic studio. Man, I am fired up. I hope you are. I've been watching the DNC. I've been watching them in Chicago. I see they scoot on up to Milwaukee for a minute and did the double rally, which was both sold out at the Pfizer Forum and the United Center. And folks, I have to tell you, it's making me think about some things. I know how vital this election is. Trust me. It does not escape me the importance of the moment. Folks, while I'm sitting up here, let's go ahead and hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification button so you can get all of my content as soon as it comes out. But I'm reminded of an America that is much different than since Donald Trump entered into the political arena. Let me speak for myself, because maybe some out there, maybe you feel the way that I do and the way that I'm going to explain this to you and my thoughts in this conversation. But I had forgotten the America that I'm seeing now on display, full display in Chicago. An America that my parents presented to me and raised me to believe in. That's the America that I had forgotten. Throughout the years of Donald Trump's toxic venom and his never-ending contempt for and attacks against our democracy, I forgot that there is goodness in the world, and especially goodness in America. And I think it's some might say I've been naive or I've lost my bearing, but it is easy, I think, to fall down that rabbit hole when the mainstream media, when all our political discourse is all about division and hatred. But then here comes the DNC. Watching it over the last 3 days has reminded me of my worldview. It reminded me of a world in which my parents believed in until they died. You see, my parents could never imagine Barack Obama. They passed before that. They definitely could not envision Kamala Harris, someone that was Black and Asian, on the highest ticket for one of our political parties. But yet they instilled that belief and that possibility in me. And when I looked at that crowd and I looked at all of those participating, it's too many to even begin to name, from every walk of life: Black, white, Latino, Asian, Native, straight, gay, every gender being represented there. That is the real America. You see, the push is to prevent that which we are becoming. We've already arrived here. And if you look at American history, and I don't want to give you a history debate today or a lecture on history, but this country has evolved over time because of immigration, because of slavery, the legacy of slavery, because of the colonization, the taking of native land. We brought people from every single direction, country, with every belief system, with every desire to live out their full existence as human beings and the value that comes along and the dignity that comes along with being human. They are here. It's the melting pot. You've heard that cliche before. And it's truly that. And it's changing. And what the DNC reminds us is that this is who we have become. And I love it. And I love it. I love it because it is not the world of mega Republicans. The world of mega Republicans are dying, and they know it. They know it. It's on life support, and they know it. And they're calling in all their best doctors and all their best surgeons and all and all their best experts to try to figure out in the ER, how can we save it? How can we save the discrimination, the racism, the bigotry, the sexism, the xenophobia? How can we save it? You cannot, because we are here. And it's been coming. It's been coming, and I am just so overjoyed that President Biden did what he did, because he didn't have to. And he should be thanked for that. I know the pressure was on him. I know people are going to say, they got a way of, I guess helping you make a decision like that. But he himself could have not done it. But he had enough vision to understand what moment we are at right now. My parents shared a world with me that is on full display, folks, at the DNC, a world where the key ingredients, where the key ingredients is love for your family, love for your friends, love for your neighbor, love for your community, and love for your country. Love for your country. My parents were proud when I went into the military. They were very proud. I did 13 years in the United States Navy. Oh, whoa. Okay, let me correct that, because if a mega Republican wants to look at my record, okay, I did 12 years, 10 months, because I know they're going to say I mischaracterized my record. Okay, 12 years, 10 months. Okay. Listen, in this mega fake world, it is okay to attack veterans. I mean, we shuddered when he went after John McCain. We were appalled when he called World War II people that died in World War II suckers and losers. We were when he went after the Gold Star family. And now here we have Governor Walz. And let me say this again, 12 years, 10 months. JD Vance, I'm not going to speak negatively about his service, because I don't believe you do that as a military person. Everybody that has truly been in the military. And one thing I will say, there is a difference between 4 years and 8 years and 12 years and 20 years and 24 years. Now, all those years are difficult. 4 years is difficult. But let me tell you, 24 years. Man, you don't last in the military 24 years if you not, man, you sharp. I mean, you're disciplined, you're focused, you're looked upon as being valuable. They just don't keep you around, and they don't elevate you to the highest level if you don't have your stuff together. And to go after Governor Walz, go after Tim for not, he could have got out at 20. In fact, he could have got out at 16. Okay, he could have got out at 12. He could have got out at 8. He could have got out at 4. I mean, he went 24 years. And I wish my fellow veterans would be more adamant that we do not do this. It's tough. 24 years. I didn't do. I did, again, 12 years, 10 months. I didn't do. Okay. I'm honorably discharged. I have my Navy Achievements Medal. I was Sailor of the Year. I have made some accomplishments in the military, and I'm very proud of that. You never talk negatively about someone that sacrifices their time, their money, because trust me, you don't make a whole lot of money in the military unless you get up and you're around the brass and all of that. But when you come in, you E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, you're not making that much. This is a sacrifice away from your family. Many times you have put your dreams on hold, and yet this man criticizes him. It's a sad situation. And J.D. Vance ought to be ashamed of himself. Every American. I thought we said we love our veterans. Oh, we love our men and women, and we listen, folks, that means nothing. Coming from a veteran, that means nothing. When you allow for another veteran to be disparaged, that means nothing to us. Veterans have your back. Why don't you have them? That's shameful. Truly, it is shameful. You see, my parents wanted me to be a representation of how they saw the world. They wanted me to embody certain things as love, kindness, understanding, empathy, yes, and forgiveness. They taught me just like your parents taught you. If you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. But saying things, hurtful things, things that that talk about your appearance and your laugh and who you love and just it's sickness to me. And this has become a badge of honor for MAGA America. MAGA America. And I'm using MAGA because we do not want to paint all Republicans with the same brush. You don't want to do that. Just like you can't do that with Democrats. You can't do that with the independents. So, but there is a group, the Trump MAGA Republicans, that they carry that with a badge of honor. I want you to just take a look at something that I thought was the most powerful moment of last night, and it's just amazing to me how someone can find fault with this. Take a look.
Gus Walls sat front row for the biggest moment of his father's life, and his pride exploded out of him.
Hope, Gus, and Gwen, you are my entire world, and I love you.
That's my dad, the 17-year-old could be seen saying. He stood with tears streaming down his face, pointing to his father, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, as he accepted the Democratic nomination for vice president. Gus wept through much of his father's speech, and when it was over, he climbed on stage and wrapped his dad in a tight bear hug. His parents recently disclosed that the high school senior has a nonverbal learning disorder, an anxiety disorder, and ADHD, but they called his condition his secret power and said he's brilliant and poised for success. Gus is getting his own turn in the spotlight after his older sister, 23-year-old Hope Walls, delighted Americans with playful social media videos she filmed with their dad. Gus's exuberance captured hearts, becoming perhaps the defining image of his father's address and further humanizing a running mate picked by Vice President Kamala Harris, in no small part for his everyman appeal.
Folks, I'm here to tell you, Gus, yeah, Gus got me. I'm an emotional person. This whole thing that men don't cry and all that, I don't buy into that. Okay. I'm an emotional person. But seeing him say, "That's my dad," you can tell that this family, and again, we can only observe from a distance and from what we've read and researched, but I would say a life so far well lived, a life where he joined the military at 17, a life where he was a teacher, he was a coach, he was a representative, he's a governor, a life of service, just like Kamala. You see these two people, when people say, well, why did she pick him? You can see this guy is genuine, and his family, his kids, these are people that are in the real America. Okay. You know, the kind that is out there shoveling snow that just gets your sidewalk too. You know, the kind you can see in a grocery store and speak to you, or the kind that you can turn to for advice, and the kind that, you know, maybe you're a single mother and there's a guy in the community that he mentors kids and he takes a liking, and yes, these are the real Americans. This is what I forgot. Now I'm speaking for myself. Uh, you know, you you may find that you never tapped out. But I have to be honest with you, with everything that was going on, the pessimism and the grotesque nature of our politics and the way we talked and dealt with one another. Yes, I tapped out. But yeah, I got an injection. Chicago gave me an injection and made me realize that that world in which my parents raised me and brought me up and taught me, that America exists. And some of you are experiencing that because that happens in places in the country. But some of us, we're in some places in the country where not so much. And so it's easy to not see that as a possibility for all of us. You know, when I was reflecting on Gus, and man, that man, I love that young man. Just the joy and and just the, oh my God, the way he was looking at his father, the amazement. Um, Speaking from a man's point of view, every boy would want to say, "That's my dad." Every girl would want to say, "That's my dad." To have that level of pride in the person that raised you, who loves you, who teaches you, that's who this guy is. Those are the people that we need in politics, not the Donald Trumps of the world, or the J.D. Vance of the world, or the Taylor Greens of the world, or the Matt Gaetz of the world. No, him is exactly, and Kamala is exactly the type of people we want in politics and we want running our country. People that lead with empathy, with love, with understanding, with care, with understanding that it's not about what they can accomplish for themselves, but what they can do for others. It reminds me, as I was saying, I was reflecting on this Bible scripture that says, "The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb. The leopard shall lay down with the young goat. The calf and the young lion and the fartling together, and a little child shall lead them." Hmm. You know, it's something about just the untainted view of the world. That's what I was raised to believe in this country. Yeah, there's problems. Yeah, there's a history of this. Yeah, there's that. But look at the DNC. Yeah, that there is us together, showing not just the other side, but the other side of the world. That there is goodness in America. This is our moment. I know that it is VP Harris and Governor Walz. I understand this is their moment, but it is our moment. It is up to us to stand up for the real America, the one where all people are represented, valued, and appreciated. America where goodwill and civility returns to our politics and to our everyday life. This has permeated down where we're looking at one another on the local level with content. With contempt. We can change that. We can change that now. At the DNC, we are seeing all walks of life participating in the joy of the real America, not the fake America, the real one, where we all are in this historical experiment together. Well, no one, listen, folks, no one will be left behind because history will speak of us. Somewhere in the distant future, a scribe will reach down deep into the archives of our time. And what will she find? Will she discover that we overcame our differences? Will she find that out of many, we became one? Or will she find that we saw nothing and remain divided peoples? Yes, history will speak of us.